When the final chapter of Stranger Things quietly arrived, millions of fans around the world pressed play knowing they were about to say goodbye, not just to a show, but to a feeling, an era, and characters that had grown up alongside them. For some, that goodbye carried an extra weight. For Sean Astin, the actor who gave heart and heroism to Bob Newby in Season 2, the ending wasn't just nostalgic, it was deeply personal. Years after his character's brutal and unforgettable death, Astin finally sat down to watch how the story ended, and what he revealed afterward struck an emotional chord with fans everywhere. Speaking while attending the 32nd Annual AFTRA Awards, streaming March 1st on Netflix, Sean Astin, now serving as president of SAG-AFTRA, reflected on his experience watching the finale of Stranger Things. He admitted that it wasn't something he rushed into. Like many parents, his viewing habits are shaped by his family, and in this case, by his daughters. When they decided it was time, they sat down together, and what followed was a moment of quiet reflection, pride, and emotional closure. Astin described the finale as something rare in modern television, a true completion. In his words, it felt like a great bookend, the kind of ending that honors every character, every arc, and every moment fans had invested in over the years. He spoke warmly about the Duffer Brothers, praising them for finishing the story in glorious fashion. According to Astin, the finale gave every performer their moment, allowing audiences to truly say goodbye in a way that felt earned rather than rushed. For longtime viewers, Bob Newby's death remains one of the most emotionally devastating moments in the entire series. Introduced as Joyce Byers' kind-hearted boyfriend, Bob quickly became a fan favorite. His bravery inside the Hawkins lab, his quiet intelligence, and his genuine love for Joyce made his sacrifice unforgettable. Even years later, fans still talk about that moment, many admitting it was the scene that broke them the most. Astin acknowledged this legacy with humility, recognizing just how deeply Bob's story resonated. The emotional power of Stranger Things is something Astin understands well, not just as an actor, but as someone who has been part of iconic storytelling before. From The Lord of the Rings to The Goonies, Astin has built a career around characters that live on long after the credits roll. Watching the final season of Stranger Things, he recognized that same timeless quality, the kind that stays with audiences for decades. As the conversation shifted, attention turned to the AFTRA Awards, formerly known as the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Astin spoke openly about the decision to rename the ceremony, explaining that the heart of the event has always been about honoring the actor. The phrase "and the actor goes to" has been part of the ceremony for over 30 years, and the name change was about clarity, accessibility, and global recognition. Astin emphasized that the new name makes the show instantly understandable to international audiences. When people hear AFTRA Awards, they immediately know what it represents. Still, he was careful to stress that this isn't just a rebrand, it's the AFTRA Awards presented by SAG-AFTRA, rooted in nearly a century of advocacy, sacrifice, and hard work by performers who fought for rights, protections, and dignity in the industry. In his remarks, Astin described the ceremony as a flagship event, one supported by generations of actors who came before. He spoke with pride about the union's history, reminding viewers that the glamour of awards season rests on a foundation built by working performers who demanded fair treatment. For Astin, honoring that legacy is just as important as celebrating the nominees on stage. When asked about potential surprises planned for this year's ceremony, Astin laughed and deflected with charm. He made it clear that decisions about the show rest with an experienced committee, producers, and Netflix, all of whom he described as exceptionally creative. While he didn't reveal specifics, he hinted at set designs that are blow away, teasing that audiences would simply have to watch and judge for themselves. Astin's role as president of SAG-AFTRA requires neutrality, especially when it comes to nominations. Still, he admitted that at home, his daughters once again guide his attention. Like many fans, they focus on ensemble casts and collaborative performances, the very heart of what the AFTRA Awards celebrate. Astin himself knows the power of ensemble recognition well, having won for the Lord of the Rings cast, a moment he still holds dear. That conversation naturally led to another meaningful nomination, Fran Drescher, former president of SAG-AFTRA, being recognized in an ensemble category. Astin praised her work, calling it an incredible achievement and highlighting the importance of honoring performers who have contributed both on screen and behind the scenes. For him, moments like these underscore what makes the awards special: recognition from peers who understand the craft. One of the most emotional highlights of the night will be the Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Harrison Ford. Astin spoke with deep admiration about Ford, emphasizing that despite being one of the most iconic and beloved actors on the planet, Ford remains deeply committed to the craft itself. Fame, legacy, and global recognition have never distracted him from the work. Astin shared a personal moment, having the honor of calling Harrison Ford to inform him that he had been selected by the committee. According to Astin, Ford's reaction was gracious, charming, and genuinely appreciative. It was a reminder, he said, that true greatness in Hollywood isn't just about iconic roles, but about professionalism, humility, and dedication to storytelling. Astin expressed immense pride in being part of that moment, confident that the audience, both in attendance and watching from home, will feel the weight of the honor. In his view, there couldn't be a more deserving recipient, and the celebration of Ford's career represents everything the AFTRA Awards aim to honor. As the conversation came full circle, the emotional through line remained clear. Storytelling matters. Whether it's a sci-fi phenomenon like Stranger Things, a fantasy epic like The Lord of the Rings, or a legendary career like Harrison Ford's, these stories shape audiences, inspire performers, and leave marks that last far beyond their runtime. For Sean Astin, watching the end of Stranger Things wasn't about revisiting his own character's death. It was about witnessing the completion of a story told with care, respect, and heart. It was about seeing a new generation of actors take their final bow, just as he once did in stories that defined a generation before them. And for fans, his reaction served as a reminder of why Bob Newby still matters, why his sacrifice still hurts, why Stranger Things became more than just a show, and why, even after the final scene fades to black, great stories never really end. They live on through the people who watch them, love them, and carry them forward.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust